Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, sometimes I come across an article that just gets my adrenaline going. I actually feel my heart beating. My hands almost start to shake, or actually start to shake, and it just gets me so upset. Adrenaline, anxiety. And I came across one of those articles last night. It's about a Trump supporter, a Trump podcaster, a guy on X, Brenden Dilley. I've heard this name before. Donald Trump Jr. is a follower of his. Gorka is a lot of Trump's actual people are followers of his. And I came across an article, Media Matters. The links will be down below. The actual recording, the podcast of Brenden Dilley will be right down below. And he's talking about the Georgia case with Donald Trump. Now, out of all the, 91, 92 felony charges against Donald Trump, sometimes I think you have to pick your battles. That's how I feel with all these felony charges against Donald Trump. And there's one charge in particular that really bothers me. I mean, I heard this with, as a matter of fact, I'll have the whole transcript right down below. You can read the actual transcript. Donald Trump talking to Secretary of State Raffensperger back after the election in 2020, where he actually asked Raffensperger to find him 11,779 votes, I think it was. I heard that. The transcript's right below, where Donald Trump goes through all these conspiracy theories about who he thinks voted, who people are saying voted, and who shouldn't have voted. And he actually asks Secretary of State Raffensperger to find 11. This is after all the votes are counted. Now, let me say this, too. This has been investigated over and over by Republicans, by Democrats, by everybody. And all these charges are unfounded that Donald Trump was saying. And he's asking the Secretary of State to come up with, to make 11,000, some 11,000 votes just appear. And when I heard this, I've heard a lot. I've heard so much messed up stuff from Donald Trump. I can't even remember a fraction of it. But this one thing here, when I heard this, this guy, are you kidding me? This guy is evil, is insane, is somebody we should never have in any form of government. He's actually asking, after the votes are counted, he's asking somebody in charge of votes to find more votes, to make up more votes. And then January 6th came after that, where, like I said, this stuff has been investigated by everybody, from people, Republicans, Democrats, and everybody. It's all unfounded. So if there's one charge that I believe should be applied to Donald Trump, it's that charge in Georgia. Okay, so Brenden Dilley, he's big on, all these right-wingers are love Elon Musk and X. So I'll have a link down to, he calls himself Warlord Dilley. And there's a picture of him with his scowl and his his glasses on, and his some type of a weapon on his back. Tough guy. Little tough guy. Average. And when I read this last, I got to read this to you, and I'm going to warn you. There's a lot of profanity in this. I am reading a podcast from a Trump fan, a Trump supporter, Brenden Dilley. This is not stuff I believe, but I really think I looked for other stories this morning, because there's so much foul language in here, and it's so offensive that I really didn't want to do a video about this. I didn't want to have to read what I'm going to read to you guys, and I'm going to have to skip parts of it, because some of it is just so over the top bullying nonsense that I can't even read it, even if I warn you guys that And I have to share this with you guys. Even if this video only gets 5 views, I want to share it with at least 5 other people. Is this voting for Donald Trump? Is this the kind of person that you want leading this country? This Trump supporter. This is what I believe is an average example of a Trump supporter here, and I got to read it to you. Like I said, the actual podcast link, Brenden Dilley's X site, and everything, everything is down below. all the evidence, all the actual recordings of Brenden Dilley and what I'm going to read to you, the actual transcript of Donald Trump and what he said years ago, back in 2020 to Raffensperger, it's all down below. Because Brenden Dilley is talking about decimating, asymmetrical warfare, he calls this, against the judge in this case. You know, he's talking about harassing the judge or anybody that goes against their cult leader, Donald Trump. And I have to read this to you because this is just so over the top. This is Brenden Dilley recently. And like I said, I got to warn you guys. This is long. Just stick with me here. This is his podcast. This is your average Trump fanatic, Trump cult leader. And you got to ask yourself, is this where you want the country to go? Is this, you know, it scares me. It really does. To think that 4 years or more, you know, 'cause I can't imagine Donald Trump ever wanting to leave the White House after 4 years. I mean, he already kids around about, you know, it's going to be more than 4 years, you know, and it scares me more than I've ever been scared in my 58 years of my life, of the millions of people that are following the cult that's following this guy and believing that Donald Trump and the stuff he's saying. I have to read this to you, and I warn you, there's a lot of cursing, there's a lot of profanity in here. And this is offensive, and this is the only reason I want to share this with you. This is recent, and it's not how I feel at all, just a warning. All right, Brenden Dilley. You cannot be satisfied with small victories. You have to only be pursuing greatness, massive victories, pain and effing agony for your enemies, pain and effing agony for everybody who attempted to do evil against you and your nation. There can be nothing less than that. Lessons that must be taught, and they will be taught through the effing absolute bludgeoning of these people socially. No physical violence, not necessary. Nobody had to lay a hand on Ron DeSantis to destroy his life, but you cannot fight like a effing plebe. You cannot fight for small crumbs. You must pursue the only effing thing that matters, which is righteous effing outcome for the country. Celebrating rigged games is not a celebration. What the left is doing to you right now is attempting to celebrate victories by through corruption is effing... I can't read this because it's offensive to the LGBTQ community. Effing G. It's basically like when your 2-year-old you let win because you didn't want to make them cry, celebrates ridiculously so because they think that they just beat you in some sport. That's not a victory. That's you getting to win because daddy felt sorry for your little ass because mom yelled at him the last time I effing blocked your shot in the little basketball hoop in the front living room. This is not effing victory. Your liberal Democrats, Marxists, celebrate all victories against Trump as if they were a 3-year-old children just been handed a victory again. F them. Let's go deeper. The MAGA Republican mindset must adjust to winning a ruthless game, a war without boundaries. There is no justice. There is no reason. There is no logic. There's only the expression of will and utilization of power that may decide the outcome. Learn it or lose. My utilized psychological warfare on DeSantis via shame and insecurity, relentlessly so. The meme team that I trained you all on how to identify his team's weakness and where to hit them. And you, all like a effing savage group of online S-posters, went to work degrading these people's mindsets. Ashy knees, I can't even say this. Effing plastic. He's saying what his podcasters, some of the derogatory things that his podcasters said to DeSantis or DeSantis people. I can't say any of this. Everybody knows it. You're fat. You've been divorced 3 times. Nobody loves you. You can't get a boyfriend. You're effing ugly. Whack, 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 whack. You're not S. You ain't nothing. You don't have any effing friends. You loser. You couldn't get a job outside of grifting. F you. You look like a giant bottle of effing Pepto-Bismol. Oh my God. Look at effing Casey DeSantis. Now he's talking about degrading DeSantis family, going after everybody around the people that they're targeting, their family, their mothers, their ex-husbands, everybody, their daughters, and attacking them online. And he calls this asymmetrical warfare. This is your average Trump supporter. Casey DeSantis eyebrows. Holy S. Look at you, your effing teeth. I would jump off a cliff if I were you. My God, what is happening with your face? You drink too much. Your parents will never love you. Seriously, this is where the country is headed. Your parents will never love you. I would jump off a cliff if I were. I just read this, and and Donald Trump Jr. follows this guy. This is his idea of how to win Donald Trump 2024. Whack, whack, whack. I guess he's saying like a tree, cutting down a tree, so degrading people online. First of all, this is just so elementary school. It just verbally attacking people, not just the people, but their family, people that have nothing to do with who you supposedly have a problem with. Like I said, this just goes on and on. It just swears. I can't even read half of this. Whack, whack, whack. Chopping down a tree. No self-esteem. No confidence. No effing brilliance. You ain't S. And then down came the tree. Eventually, that massive effort of attacking their insecurities and what they completely toppled the entire organization. Rumors came out and articles were written about how they had infighting that you wouldn't effing believe, all centered around what happened on X. This is unfortunately what it will take to win. This is the level of savagery you must have. You must view everybody who is opposed to Donald Trump and the America First agenda as opposing America itself. How freaking Nazi is that? So attack everybody. Anybody that says a bad thing about Donald Trump or America First, attack them savagely online. Not just them, but their families. This is a Trump. This is your average Trump supporter. This is somebody that Donald Trump Jr. actually follows. This is how we toppled them. They will not recover. It will take years of effing therapy to get back on their feet. Listen to what this guy is saying. And he's talking. I am not bullshitting you. I did it intentionally. I trained my meme team on how to do it intentionally. We discussed it, openly conversated about it. I told you all what we were going to do. They are not recovering. Everything you see on social media is an effing fraud. They're trying to pretend they're okay. They're pretending that they're confident in their recovery. They are not. They know they are effing losers. They know they got destroyed and bullied by a bunch of anonymous effing posters on the internet who are patriotic, and they spent $200 million to get humiliated. You cannot be a holy roller MAGA or we will lose. All of the shit that you were taught in childhood, that you were ingrained with, and all the things that society told you that were not acceptable, that were very unbecoming and made you a bad Christian, lose all that shit or you're gonna lose your effing country. I will show you how to win. I've already done it once. I showed you how I took down a $200 million effing campaign. Apparently, he thinks he's claiming he took down the DeSantis campaign by attacking DeSantis' whole family, calling them losers and bullying them online. Everybody. And he's basically saying that anybody that goes against Donald Trump or America First should be attacked by these online, his meme team, his online shit posters, as he calls it. This is what you want for the next 4 years, or beyond that, for America's future. This ugliness. But you must apply the same logic, the same ability, the same cohesive messaging to the entire power structure that's in front of you. F this judge. See, now he's really talking about this asymmetrical warfare for the judge in the Georgia case, the one that I think is the most important, where Donald Trump said to find 11,000 votes. Attack the judge and his family. That's basically what he's calling for here. Attack a judge. Of course he did. Why would he expect nothing less than the usual weakness and cowering from little B like him? Why would you expect a skinny, balding, effing, middle-aged loser, effing... I can't even say the rest of this. Why would you expect that? This is exactly what they are. This is exactly what he is. You see him in public, you mock him. You see him online, you mock him. You see his sister online, his mom online, his brother, his wife, his effing kids. Doesn't matter. Then, oh, your dad's a effing pussy. Your effing dad does not have any integrity whatsoever. My God, what a coward. What a effing coward. Your family's a joke. This is his idea of how to get Donald Trump to win. Asymmetrical warfare. That's how you do it. You want to effing condemn the nation? We will. Who's condemning the nation? Donald Trump is being held accountable for what we all heard him say, asking Raffensperger to cheat to find 11,000 votes after the votes were counted. After the votes were actually counted, he goes to the Secretary of State, who's in charge, who's a Republican. And the Secretary of State, Raffensperger, a Republican, said, no way, you're crazy. I'm not going to cheat for you. That's the gist of this. And now this Trump supporter wants to attack this case and the judge in this case. This really, and this guy has a chance, Donald Trump has a chance of winning. These people have a chance of, what's going to become of our country? When I'm here online, am I going to get attacked online? Anybody like me? Bo the Fifth Column. Anybody else? This is anything bad about Donald Trump. Oh, attack them, attack their family. We will condemn your effing entire lineage. Your parents, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your effing ex-girlfriend, your teenage children, your college children, you name it. We will make sure that each and every one of them knows that you are an effing pussy. Your father, brother, cousin, effing nephew. This is what you have to understand. And it is not fun, but is the only effing way you overcome these people. Let me show you this, man. If I had to win something and this is the way that I had to do it by this kind of, my thoughts are this kind of negativity in your life, it's like this saying, when you put acid in a container, it eats the container it's in. When you adopt this kind of negative mentality of attacking other people, it's bound to, you attract what you put out. Your life will become negative and hell. That's my first thought for these people. The second thought I have about this is how freaking elementary school is this? He's talking about, verbally bullying people online like this was second grade. And then third thing I thought is, I can't imagine, I've told you guys before in the comments, I pick specific time to read the comments because sometimes it bothers me. Sometimes these things stay in my head. But somebody like this attacking me, I thought about it. What could this guy say that could really hurt me when I know that that's all he's trying to do is hurt me? What are you going to say, that I'm bald? What are you going to say? I'm old? I'm gay? No, I'm straight. But what are you going to say? I'm stupid. I'm a drug addict. A lot of people go to that, an ex-drug addict. What are you going to say when somebody's trying to hurt you? It's obvious, and then on top of that, when I hear people say stuff like that, honestly, I think they're jealous or envious of something I have, and that's the reason they're attacking me. And I start to actually feel sorry for people like this, but this is just unbelievable. Again, I apologize for this. These are not my words. I thought it was important to point out what your top of the line Trump supporter, Trump fan, Trump content creator is putting out there, what he's calling on for other Trump supporters to do. I don't know. God help us. I'll be back later with another video. I'm sorry for all the cursing. I'm sorry for the profanity. Have a good Wednesday.